All right, what's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to update you guys on Bitcoin and a few altcoins that I'm watching. Same thing as yesterday, but just a quick update on what I'm watching today. All right, welcome, guys. Today I'm going to take a quick look at Bitcoin, and I'm also going to show you some altcoins that I'm watching and a few setups that I've been posting in the Birb Nest for the Nest Club and calls only subscription members. Before we go into that, today's video is sponsored by ZEN.com, which is a fintech company with a comprehensive suite of digital banking tools. You get products with benefits like a personal IBAN account, and very cool thing about the ZEN.com is you can transfer over your crypto into your ZEN account, and the conversion to fiat happens automatically with very low commissions. And on top of that, you can have virtual and physical cards you can use in your shopping, and you get the cashbacks and extended warranty on electrical products. So definitely check that out. You can use the code and link in the description below to get 120 days of a personal account, 120 days free access to personal account, and 60 days free access on a business account. So definitely worth checking out if you're looking to cash out on your crypto profits. Now let's look at Bitcoin right here, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking at Bitcoin because obviously it's not much has changed since yesterday's update. It's looking more and more bearish, but we could just get a bounce very shortly. But to me, it looks bearish. It looks like it wants to test lower levels. We have the weekly 50 EMA right below here at around the 45K region, a wick down to that area, and then a move upwards would make sense, but I'm not going to be buying that dip. I'm more focused on altcoins, and some of the altcoins that we're watching is this list right here. We have CRV. I posted a setup on CRV in the Birb Nest yesterday. It's now back in the buy zone. We have increased our stop loss to around the 5.9 area because I think price shouldn't really come lower than this level if CRV is bullish. I'm liking how it looks on the 1 hour, but it really needs to bounce here, and it probably will bounce if Bitcoin holds this level as support. But if Bitcoin breaks down, this will most likely get stopped out, and that's one of the reasons for me to kind of limiting the risk on this and moving my stop up after the initial push out of the buy zone. So that's CRV. We also have a setup going for ALCX, ALCX. And the idea here is to go long on a retest of the 330 area. So this trade is not activated. I posted this trade, but the entry triggers are not there yet. But I am looking for a bounce somewhere around the 330 area for a move higher. Because of the condition that Bitcoin is trading in, we need to be very careful with altcoins, and we need to secure the positions quite early. And that means at TP1, we move stops to entry so that if we get hit on TP1 and then move lower, it's going to be a small winner. But the chances are that Bitcoin breaks down. So this will, obviously in that case get stopped out. So you need to be very conservative with your risk right here. And if you're entering two trades like this, and like these are correlated. I mean, these altcoins are going to be correlated with Bitcoin. So if you... in a scenario like this, if you usually take 1% risk per trade, I would probably recommend taking trades like this with 0.5% risk, right? Because it's just Bitcoin is in a slightly risky territory. But the fact that it's still at support and the probability of seeing a bounce, it's still there, right? It's still there. And then when you have altcoins, which is in a bullish market structure, it definitely makes sense going long if your system gives you an entry trigger. So that's CRV and ALCX. Next up, we have NEAR. We looked at this yesterday, and we talked about how we wanted to see a retest of the 4-hour 20 EMA. We almost got that, but I'm thinking Near has some more retrace to do before going long. I'd like to see a deeper retrace down into this area right here, maybe hit the 50 EMA on the 4-hour, or maybe even see a wick down to the monthly and weekly open. And that's where I want to potentially open a position if we have a nice swing low in that area. Sushi is another one I'm watching, and you know what? It does look very good here from the higher time frame perspective. You see this horizontal level right here, confluent with the daily 20 and the daily 50 EMA, and it kind of looks like the daily 20 EMA wants to cross above the daily 50 EMA as well. That's probably going to happen today if the daily candle stays and closes above the daily 20 EMA. So that's looking very good. This is looking to be shaping up to be a quite a interesting trade, right? You can see here on the daily that it's bouncing very nicely on the daily moving averages here, right around $8 area. So for Sushi right here, this could be a fantastic entry, but I'm not really sold on this right now because, you know, I'm thinking there might be a retrace slightly lower. And if we do have a retrace slightly lower, maybe down to the $7 area, I would like to see a break and retest up to 50% level, which is the $8 area. So maybe a wick down to 7 and then a reclaim of 8. And I also want to see the moving averages kind of come down like this, right? I then want to see price reclaiming the 4-hour moving averages, and in this case that's the 4-hour 20 and the 4-hour 50. So according to my system, the buy would have been here or here, and now that we've broken structure, I'm not really sure I'm very interested in buying this right here. I need to see some added confluence. So if we don't see a retrace down to 7, we might see a reclaim of weekly open, and that might be a good trade where you enter on the break and retest of weekly open with stops somewhere below 8. That's what I'm thinking on Sushi. And then we have a link, right? We got Link, which is now breaking out. We never really had that retest of the entry we looked at yesterday, but now that we have this breakout, I am looking to go long on the next higher low. So if you look at the higher time frames, there's a definitely a possibility that we have a bottom forming right here, and the break above this area definitely confirms that there's some interest in this for higher prices. And I'm thinking, looking at the 4-hour, we might want to see a move like this, right? That would be really, really nice, right? And if we do get a higher low somewhere in this area where it's also confluent with the 20 EMA in the 4-hour and the 50 EMA in the 4-hour, and maybe a wick down to the daily 50 EMA, that would be a fantastic entry. If you do hit this level, make sure to enter only if the 4-hour stochastics is below 30 and preferably giving you a bull cross below 30. That would be the best possible scenario, in my opinion. All right, last coin we're going to look at. Well, you know what? Let's take a look at Atom and FTM. So last two coins. Atom is starting to retrace. We have two areas of interest. First area of interest is the 36 area, somewhere around this area where we have the weekly open and the 50 EMA in the 4-hour, and then the second good level is the 20 EMA in the 4-hour, and you can see that stochastics are on the 4-hour starting to reach the oversold territory, and I would love to see a retest of the 36.5 area right here. This would be a fantastic level for a trade. You would be looking at something like this, right? Now, around the bottom, a bounce here could really set up for a pretty good long trade with stops below, probably below 33. And if you want a quick day trade, quick in and out trade, you could definitely take this trade right here, a 1.8R trade. Definitely interesting if we do get that level to hit. I'm adding an alert right there. And then we have FTM, which is obviously in a very strong up trend here. And I'd like to see a retrace, basically. I'd like to see a higher low somewhere in this area. And of course, we have to adjust the setups with price actions. So right now, I'm not even going to have a setup on here. I'm just thinking that we'll get something like this, perhaps, something like that is what I'd like to see on FTM. It looks really strong, and if we could get a higher low, I would probably go long on this in anticipation of this uptrend holding. But remember, guys, the only reason I'm looking at altcoins now is that there are actually some altcoins that are showing good for our trends, right? While Bitcoin is at support. But as soon as Bitcoin fails to hold this level, I do anticipate coins like FTM to drop like this. And that is when the trend is over. And that's where I'm no longer looking at all longs on altcoins. All right, guys, that's today's update. Hopefully you enjoy these quick short updates on the altcoin market, kind of updating you guys on what I'm watching and showing you the trades that I'm might be taking in the next few hours or even the next few days. All right, guys, take care and see you guys in the next one.